dear believer of this young AC Milan. Who am I kidding, man? Who am I kidding? Dear Rossoneri, welcome back today. Another video, of course, after watching the defeat against Lazio last night. After the post-match, I can read the comments that we are all on the same page. You know, we don't even know anymore who to argue with, because that's probably explained the thumbnail. Everyone is against everyone, you know, and the players versus the fans versus the management doesn't give a proper answer. The only thing that we as old Rossoneri, we know for sure, we have one thing only left, which is the jersey, only la maglia. I'm super proud of this that we made with together with Peter. It's available on the link down below. We have a hoodie, we have a hat, we have a t-shirt. Solo la maglia, only the jersey, that's the only thing that we got left this season. We saw the truth already back in September, and guess what? It came out all at once during the last 15 days, yeah. Well, guys, this video, it's gonna be a little recap of what's going on in Milan. And I wanna start talking about the jersey, I wanna talk about the players, I wanna talk about the last post of Leao on Instagram. I want to talk about Conceição and, of course, the words of our CEO Furlani, that yesterday before the match had the bravery to talk for Milan, and how we can solve this situation. Because at the end of this, you know, at the end of the video, I think we can talk about what's the only solution available here in this situation with Milan, which is a situation that it's not new for us, especially coming from the last 10 years of Benter era. We lived a couple of years of gold, and now we are back again to step one, you know. So let's start right away talking about the jersey, guys, because that's ridiculous things. Number one, the jersey that we played last night. Why I want to talk about the jersey? Because I grew up watching Milan having a certain kind of style, and Milan style always meant to be something elite, something also elite, but very respectful towards the defense, towards the people that play they buy the ticket, and the people that buy the ticket to go in San Siro. Now I understand that Milan has a deal with Off-White. Probably there is a contract that could have been break, but knowing and understanding what is going on in Milan in the last few matches, understanding that the match against Lazio would have been a match to gather a little bit of trust, especially after coming out from, you know, being eliminated from the Champions League, being eliminated by the run-up for the top four, would have been a match, an important match, with a respectful Lazio, with a very good team Lazio, which is standing before the match 5 points above us. Would have been like a great way to come back and let's say, okay, we fucked up this season, let's try to not destroy it completely. But and it's a way to bring back also the colors, the red and the black, because that's what we are, that's who we are. But once again this season, the fashion brand won. So I remember Milan Girona in Champions League with a grey jersey, Milan Feyenoord with a grey jersey, or Feyenoord Milan, I don't recall which one was it, probably. But you know what I mean. And last match yesterday we played against Lazio with a jersey that looks like the Portugal, you know, partly looks like Belgium, partly looks like Portugal. And the thing is that the thing that's sent me off as a fan is that sometimes you need a certain kind of sensibility that the managers, whoever is in control of that contract with the deal with Off-White, you should be able to understand that if the fans, you should understand when is the right moment to promote. Because let's be very honest, how many people are going to buy now that jersey? Because that jersey now represents the downfall of Milan. That jersey now represents one of the worst match that Milan plays this season. That jersey now represents everything that is wrong with the club now. So also because it's not cheaper than the classic red and black stripes. Nobody is gonna buy that jersey. Literally nobody. Nobody is gonna be remembered as one of the worst jersey ever. So thinking back with maybe, you know, also all the investment that Off-White made for Milan, Off-White made with the artists, with the with the designer to come up with some ideas. Was it really worth it to play on this match? Was it really worth it to, to occupy the space of our Milan, of our community for your fucking brand? Was it the thing? No, for me, no. For me, no. For me, no. I wanted to have a red and black jersey. I understand sometimes it is good to go out a little bit out of the line because nowadays is modern football. You need to also, outreach different flavors. Let's call it like this. But the basic is football. The basic is 11 players that run following they chase a ball, and in this moment, this team needed something solid, needed something, we needed the red black to feel at home in San Siro. Instead, that jersey is going to be remembered as one of the worst jerseys Milan have ever wore. The second spot, I want to talk about the players because, the second part, I want to talk about the players. Then I'm going to talk about Rafa Leao post because, well, unfortunately, we are against everyone, and that's everyone that pissed me off a little bit. I want to talk about Conceição and, of course, about Furlani and the solution, guys. The players, guys. The players, we saw that, of course, this topic is going to be the players and Conceição together, okay? Because at the end of the day, who makes mistakes at the end of the day are the players, the single player specifically. We saw in Zagreb with a mistake by Gabbia, with a red card of Musa. Milan before the match was 7th in the Champions League, 7th out of 32 teams. We were 7th, and we are not going to be playing Champions League anymore, even next season. So how dramatic was that stop? Something literally happened there, and probably there was I remember there was a big argument during Milan-Parma, and it was part of the Morata leaving, there was a part of Davide Calabria leaving, so that's all part of the team, not only the 11 that plays, but also everything behind, and the coach, they fucked up a bit, let's be honest, because there was a lot of trauma, there was a lot of problem behind there, and the big argument, maybe there was situation not resolved properly, they've been dragged into Zagreb. So what's happened in Zagreb? Red card for Musa, problem with Gabbia that conceded the first goal. Then we went to play against Feyenoord with a mistake by Mike Maignan. Then we played against Feyenoord in Milan, mistake by Theo Hernandez. I remember the match against, the last match against Lazio with a mistake of Strahinja Pavlovic. Once again, single players that sometimes, I think probably also is the method of Conceição that try to always push them to the limit. And because they don't think as a unit, that's what makes me feel like the players itself, they don't think as a unit. They think more as a single player. So it's a collection of stickers. It's a collection of out of a Panini album. There are players, but they don't play as a unit. I cannot blame Pavlovic because he's the only one that so far is putting a little bit of heart. That's it. I cannot blame him. And I am sorry almost to feel like there are certain players that they've been confused by the latest mercato. Pulisic, TG Reinders is a number 8. It's not a CC. We constantly playing as a CC, but he cannot play as a central midfielder. He's a player that needs space, need to counter attack, and he can score goals. But as a CC, is wasted. Pulisic, one of our best players, literally Milan was grabbing this player to create some stuff, some assists, some goals, some situations, some third pass, and now it's confused, less confused. And this is confused because the mercato made in, for example, in January wasn't structured in a way to help the team to actually help where is the missing point. They bought players that we don't really need it. You know, I understand that Jimenez, it is one of the great prospects in Europe. I understand it. But from last year that we lost the leadership with Giroud, then now they play Morata, and now saying that Morata it is, but I start to soon the comparison in between Morata is gonna be done. I'm telling you, because so far I see him, Jimenez, that he plays always ahead. He's trying always to aim at the goal. He's not coming back too much. And in this Milan that is being used to play with strikers that they always run back to help the wingers to run, now having somebody there in the front that doesn't come back is always creating some problem. From Leao to Pulisic. Plus now we have also João Felix that somehow, for some reason called Mendes, he just skipped everyone else. He skipped everyone else and now he's a starter. If he's not a starter, after 36 minutes he's been substituted. Somehow, I don't know if it's a Portuguese connection, if it's a Portuguese mafia, call it as you like it. Mendes, João Felix, Conceição. João Felix play every single match now. Is a ghost. He doesn't know where to stay, because I'm not talking about the talent of João Felix and the technique, because he is good. But the problem is the Fab Four. It's a mess. It's not possible. It's not possible. It is something that Pulisic, when João Felix is playing, he doesn't know anymore what to do. Leao as well, we can see the Fabulous Four, probably they score one goal since there is a Fabulous Four, which is the goal, when was it? Which is a goal against Bologna last time. Was it a goal against Bologna? I don't recall. Well, you can check it out. But Fabulous Four is something that it doesn't work. And the mistakes that Conceição are doing as well as a coach is that he's constantly playing the Fab Four, and also is playing this freaking Musa, which is, I cannot, I don't want to get too obsessed with Musa, because now it feels like he's our problem. He's definitely not our only problem. But Musa is the right wing. Maybe he can help a little bit. He helps defensively. He has great muscle. He has a great run. He has great dribbling, but he doesn't have the vision of a central midfielder. So I don't understand why Conceição constantly play him as a central midfielder together with Fofana. Constantly there. It's not the right place. We need to why we will find it actually a good balance with the 4-4-2, and now we're back with the 4-2-3-1. That this Milan doesn't have a balance. This Milan doesn't have a balance with this lineup. It's very, 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 very clear. Also, Conceição, for fuck's sake, you said Tomori, we needed him. He didn't go to Juventus. But first of all, he never plays. And second, I'm not saying that he's the best that we have, of course not. But Jesus Christ, it's all the season that we constantly rotated the central defender. All the season. Yesterday, Gabbia played. I didn't see Gabbia since 3 months, and now he's playing. One time he's playing Chow, one time he's playing Tomori, one time. The rotation, especially in defense, in my opinion, they always have to play the same, because it has to create a mental approach with the defender that they know each other until the last millimeter, because they have to work way more tactically than what the striker have to do. Because the striker, they have to create mechanism of filtering, like a triangle on PlayStation, right? When you filter the pass or run or score and so on. Meanwhile, the defender have to work out as a block, as a unit, because they have to work out the lineup, the what's the name, the outside. So they have to know everything about themselves. And I don't like that we constantly change. Second, and also, guys, this is the words of Rafa Leao here. They're saying, unfortunately, it is us against everything and everyone. We still have time to get back to positive results, and the group will continue to be more united than ever. Now, here is my question, Rafa. Unfortunately, is us against everything and everyone. Here is the thing that I don't understand is everything and anyone means the ref that gave an unfair penalty, which is, let's be honest, guys, in my opinion, you can give that kind of penalty, you know. Watching it back with the VAR, maybe, but they give this kind of penalty, you know. I will not surprise, like, if they conceded the penalty, but usually if it's not a proper, because the guy dived. But anyway, let's keep this. So that means Rafa Leao is against the referee. That means against the system, that there are constantly ref problems when Milan is playing. Against us, everything and everyone means the fan. I hope he doesn't say the fan, because, dear Rafa, who put the team in that situation? Who puts the team 9th in the league? Who put the team in the Champions League? I hope he's not talking about the fan, because the fan was claiming big time, you know. There was it was an unreal situation yesterday, hearing chants, and some people were booing and whistling to our player. It was not really nice to see, because if you don't want to, in the moment that you decide to go to San Siro, you need to encourage your team. I don't really necessarily agree with the Curva that try to protest against the team when they are playing. I understand it, do it outside of the 90 minutes. I understand it, do it at Casa Milan. I understand doing the banners. I understand everything, entering, not even going to San Siro. But when you are in San Siro and your team is playing, I think it's hard to, it's a little bit harsh, of course, to tell them, to protest. The protest has to be done in different location, in my opinion. At the end of the match, in the end of the first half. But when the teams play, I will say stay close to the team. Otherwise, don't even go to San Siro. That's the best way. So you don't give money to Jerry Cardinale. So I respect. I mean, I don't understand, man. I don't understand this from Rafa Leao. I hope that this is not gonna a pause to say, I try my best. I wash my hands. Whatever happened. I did my best, because I really hope that because Rafa, guys, again, it is our best player. Is the player that they can, we know, we say that a million of times, that makes the differences, of course. But lately all the team is going down, and we have to, of course, everyone blames everyone. And I hope that Rafa Leao is not against the fans, but I hope maybe it's more about who's above. And starting from this smiling face, I cannot really stand this guy. Giorgio Furlani spoke before the match, say, when the performance so far below expectation, there is not a single culprit. I don't fucking know what does it mean, culprit. The truth is, we are all somewhat responsible. I definitely include myself in this. The disappointment that the fans feel is shared by us in the club, and the team feel it too. Then he said that at the beginning of the season, expectations were high and the conditions were there. We haven't done what we wanted to achieve it so far. To be completely honest, the report cards is definitely insufficient despite the Supercoppa. We have to look ahead. We can't go back. We must finish the season with honor, starting from tonight. And then we lost 2-1 with a ridiculous match. I cannot really stand this guy because he doesn't really have a grab of the situation. He doesn't really have a grasp of what is going on with Milan. He doesn't have the sensibility to find a solution, to find somebody that can really help these kids playing football. He doesn't really know what to do. He doesn't know about football as well. That's my opinion on him. I think the only way to solve this problem, and this is how I want to wrap up the video, how Milan can solve this problem. In my opinion, we need a proper sport director, because at the moment Milan doesn't have one. A sport director that is Italian. I'm gonna be straight honest. I don't want to have somebody coming from outside that never watched Italian football. I don't want to have a friend of a friend. I don't want to have. I want to have an Italian sport director that has a history in Italian top teams, not for Cesena, Pisa, or whatever. I want to have somebody that played already at the top level, that does know how to shield, how to help as well these guys, because they are out of control completely. The problem is, do I trust who they're gonna buy? Do I trust Furlani? Do I trust Moncana? Do I trust Ibrahimovic, Jerry Cardinale? On who they're gonna choose? The problem is, this guy, they're gonna choose maybe the cheapest option instead of buying the best option. Because I understand if we don't buy the best player, I understand if we don't have the best coach, but we need a figure that represent somehow, somewhere, AC Milan. Because this team that we have right now, there is nothing about Milan. Nothing. Ciao and Forza Milan.